CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. We begin tonight with breaking news. The boil water advisory has come to an end inside the city of Greater Sudbury. More than 90,000 Sudburians had been impacted for the better part of the week. It was put in place, Public Health had said, as a precaution after routine monitoring detected coliform bacteria in samples. 2 consecutive sets of water samples over 48 hours have returned with no adverse results from 2 different water treatment plants. Health officials say this is an example of the system working, and before consuming, don't forget to take the necessary steps.
You want to flush your lines. If you've got ice cubes in that, you should replace them. If you've got carbon filters, a lot of people have carbon filters for taps for taking the chlorine out of the water. Those can catch bacteria and release it later because it can grow in there. So you're going to want to replace your carbon filters, this sort of thing.
CTV's Angela Gemmell has more now on why the advisory and its wide scale was so necessary.
A water treatment operator takes a sample from the David Street plant. 3 of 4 samples from this distribution system sparked a boil water advisory this week.
We have such a complex system that we can't isolate any part of the town. So because one part of town has had these adverse results, we cannot say in confidence that water from this part of town won't travel to that part of town.
Public Health issued the boil water advisory Wednesday evening and later clarified the issue was coliform, which is a category or group of bacteria. The city of Greater Sudbury says 54% of the population was impacted, roughly 90,000 residents.
We realize it is hard on the public, it is hard on businesses, but because we don't know if there are actual pathogens out there, we got to suggest that you boil your water. So people did hear about it. People were doing this. People were following the instructions.
The city's director of water wastewater explains they've previously experienced adverse samples from various sites across the water distribution systems. But this was the first time results came from 2 different treatment systems at the same time. An investigation is now underway into what could have led to those results.
Was there any deviation from procedure? This time there wasn't. It's just a strange occurrence. So it's really reviewing our procedures. How did we collect the samples? Did we do anything differently this time? Reviewing the equipment itself.
Cadet can confirm it was not human error since the samples were taken by 2 different operators.
The operators are always trained to have clean hands. They wear gloves. They have to use a special bottle. There's actually a special technique to fill the bottle. The bottles have to be kept refrigerated.
Cadet says they may never know why this happened, but they are using it as a learning opportunity for staff to review procedures and identify any blind spots. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
We have what appears to be some good news for those dealing with the flooding situation in Mattawa. Town officials posting tonight that both the Ottawa and Mattawa rivers remain high but have stabilized. Authorities are maintaining the flood warning mainly now due to the high water content in the north and northwestern Quebec. Outflows out of Lake Timiskaming are expected to rise due to this weekend's rain, resulting in a slight projected rise in the Ottawa River. Meanwhile, a flood warning remains in effect for French River and Lake Panache. Residents along those areas are being urged to continue taking caution due to snowmelt and previous rainfall. Both will continue to see high flows and sustained high water levels. While town officials said this week if precipitation levels remain low, they were hoping to see some positive progress by early next week. Ministry of Natural Resources officials are warning people today to expect levels to remain high, at least for the foreseeable future. Let's take a look at the weather model, what the weather modeling is showing us for the next little bit. And this is not what places like French River and around Lake Nipissing want to see more rain. Now, I'm going to show you into Saturday, and a system is going to start to move its way in. Not so bad, but that's going to make its way down towards Lake Nipissing. So by about Saturday morning at 8 a.m., Kirkland Lake will already be seeing 30 millimeters. That's not great, but in around areas that's seeing flooding in around North Bay, Parry Sound, 18 millimeters. So probably about 16 millimeters in around French River. By about Sunday night, 19 millimeters in North Bay, 15 in Greater Sudbury, 32 in Kirkland Lake. So hopefully that does not continue to last long. In other news, the city of Timmins is asking for patience as it works to clean up sand off of downtown city sidewalks. In a social media post tonight, city officials say they used a lot of sand over a long winter that saw a lot of snow. As a result, they're using a Karcher compact sweeper to help in cleaning it up along with the associated debris. The process leaves a trail that will be swept up with a larger box sweeper. It's all in a bid to save time and labor. They add they will get to it and that crews are working as fast as they can. The city of Elliott Lake says it's closed the small pool at the Ruben Liuti Center until further notice. In a Facebook post earlier today, city officials say it was closed due to technical issues and that staff are working to fix the issue as quickly as possible and to restore full operations. The lap pool and hot tub remain open for public swims, and the parent and taught classes will take place in the shallow end of the lap pool. By July 1st, all firefighters in Ontario must be certified to National Fire Protection Association standards. However, as CTV's Lydia Chubak tells us, some smaller municipalities are struggling to meet that deadline.
The member of provincial parliament for Timiskaming Cochrane says the Iroquois Falls Fire Department is feeling the pressure to meet the province's July 1st deadline to have all its members to be officially certified.
Make the certification process work for people who work full-time at other jobs. Like the certification process is only once in a while, or you have to travel to get certified. And as a result, there are people going, you know what, we're either not going to join or we're not going to finish the process.
Only proctors and evaluators from Ontario's Office of the Fire Marshal are qualified to facilitate the evaluations and certifications, making it challenging for volunteer firefighters to achieve certification.
They have full-time job, family commitments, whatnot. Let the departments themselves be able to administer the testing. That's all we're asking.
The chief training officer for the Timmins Fire Department says getting members certified has not been as difficult as it's been for Iroquois Falls.
With Timmins being a regional training center, we're able to run courses often to try to keep up with this impending deadline.
The Iroquois Falls Fire Department is worried about the consequences it could face if its volunteer firefighters don't get certified in time.
Our department could become an interior or exterior attack only department and also lose our certification for extrication services on Highway 11.
Boucher and Vantoff are asking to change the process to make it more convenient for volunteer firefighters to get the required certification and plan to raise the issue at next week's Phenom Conference in Timmins. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
A big announcement in Sault Ste. Marie for sports fans and athletes today. Renovations to a local facility and a major tournament are heading the city's way. We get details now from CTV's Courtney Nordstrom.
A dual announcement from provincial ministers took place in the Sault today.
Our government is providing $2 million to the city of Sault Ste. Marie to renovate the John Rhodes Community Center.
Today I'm proud to announce that Sault Ste. Marie will host the 2028 Ontario Winter Games.
At the John Rhodes, funding will go towards repairs to the roof and HVAC system, expected to be complete by this fall. The latter comes with nearly $1.4 million to host an event that will bring some of the best young athletes to the Sault. Over 2,800, in fact, competing across more than 24 different sports, bringing thousands of eyes to the city with coaches and family included.
It's a bit of an audition for future events, but it is a premier event in Ontario, and we are really excited for the games themselves and for the legacy that they leave.
I think most families, especially in Ontario, support their kids, and so could it be double the number of athletes? Quite possibly, and maybe even more. The other side of that is you can't forget the local attraction, that those that love sport that may not have a horse in the race, if you will, from a family member, but love watching competition and love watching young people compete.
The economic impact for the Ontario Winter Games is estimated at roughly $5 million. The money for the work to the John Rhodes will bring construction jobs, and by extending the lifespan of the facility, there's the continued financial draw of hosting many more sporting events in the future.
We don't think about that very often, but it is the largest source of revenue across the north. You can see it every single weekend. The rinks are packed and they're usually packed with people from out of town.
The city is calling on support from locals in advance of the 2028 games, where it's expected that between 8 and 1,200 volunteers will be needed. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
North Bay firefighters will be the subject of a new mental health research project aimed at better understanding mental health in the field. Nipissing University-based psychology and local mental health advocacy group Chat for Chad are partnering on the 4-year study to see how the exercise impacts mental health. Andy Kahnmacher is one of the leads on the project as he completes his master's in kinesiology. He says the goal is to find meaningful results from the research.
You know, I think this research is going to be very meaningful in the sense of finding some new mental health initiatives for firefighters and other first responders. So we're looking actually at how exercise, predominantly aerobic fitness, can actually influence some of the cortisol profiles in these firefighters. And we know cortisol is very linked to stress, and that's why we're focusing on cortisol.
So Chat for Chad is a huge contributor financially, but also in addition to the financial contributions, Chat for Chad is really going to help this research by allowing us to spread our findings to the wider community. So often academic research gets lost in academic journals, and Chat for Chad has a great platform. They've done really great work at sharing mental health initiatives, and so we're also really looking forward to working with Chat for Chad.
The clinic's lead psychologist and her team will be monitoring the mental health initiatives throughout the project. The Lancer Dome in Sudbury will be reopening on Monday. The dome was closed after the major snowstorm in March. The Rainbow District School Board says new lights had to be installed after the dome's collapse. There were also minor repairs and patches to the dome's shell, structure, and to the turf inside. The dome is used predominantly for soccer, but also for cricket, flag football, and other sports. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions, and we are going to change there, and it is looking pretty decent. Sault Ste. Marie is looking at 6, definitely the hot spot. Actually, Parry Sound, the hot spot at 9 degrees. Clear skies through Timiskaming Shores, North Bay, Sudbury, and down towards the island. 2 in Kapuskasing. We'll have details after the break.
Weekend's finally here. We've got some precipitation in the form of showers and flurries. And as well, not a promising day for moms on Sunday. Let's have a look at our forecast radar. The system moving in once again. Precipitation by tomorrow heading into Sunday as well. So like I said, showers, flurries, and some of those conditions somewhat reminiscent of what we experienced earlier this week. Here's Sunday at about supper time. Not too pleasant. Let's check out some of the numbers now. 7-day forecast, Sudbury, Nickel Belt, chance of showers tomorrow at 12, chance of sleet on Sunday at 10, chance of sleet again on Monday at 9. Here we go with the sunshine. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sun and cloud all 3 days, 12, 14, believe it or not, 17, just above normal for this time of the year. How about the Sioux and Algoma? Chance of showers at 8 tomorrow. Chance of sleet, good bet there. 60% on Mother's Day. Chance on Monday at 7 degrees. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just like Greater Sudbury. 10, 14, 15, some sun, some cloud for all 3 days. And again, pretty close to normal, which is supposed to be around 16 degrees. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, sleet tomorrow at 9. Chance of sleet on Mother's Day, 9. Chance of sleet on Monday, 40%. Here we go at 8, 12, 15, 18. You've got sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some sun and cloud. And that's above normal on Thursday by 2 degrees. Your normal is 16. Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, showers tomorrow at 12. Chance of sleet Sunday and Mother's Day at 9. 12 degrees Tuesday, loads of sunshine, then sun and cloud Wednesday, Thursday, 16 and 17. You actually surpass the normal for this time of the year on Thursday, which is 16. So good stuff. It looks like it's warming up finally in the month of May like it should. North Bay, West Nipissing, showers tomorrow at 11. Chance of sleet on Sunday at 10. Chance of sleet on Mother's Day once again at 9. 11 Tuesday, sun and cloud. 14 Wednesday, sun and cloud. And Thursday, 17 sun and cloud, which is your normal. So, Ian, you'll have to wait until at least Tuesday. Getting into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, more sunshine coming. Sorry about Mother's Day. but we'll try to make up for it with a better forecast next week. Back to you.
That's right. Sorry, moms. Thanks so much, Rick. We're learning more tonight about the 2 Ontario residents who were aboard the ship at the center of a Hantavirus outbreak. Both are residents of Midwestern Ontario, and tonight both are in isolation at home. CTV Siobhan Morris has more tonight with Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health.
Somewhere in the southwestern Ontario counties of Grey and Bruce, 2 people are hunkered down at home, isolating after an unforgettable cruise.
They're not cases, they're contacts from the ship. And I just want to assure everybody they have no symptoms at present.
Ontario's top doctor says 2 people from the same household are being monitored for 45 days. They arrived back in Ontario 2 weeks ago, getting daily calls from their local public health unit.
We'd ask them if they are developing any fever, malaise, muscle aches, joint aches, respiratory symptoms.
These passengers were on dry land before the hantavirus outbreak was flagged. Even if they were exposed to someone with the virus,
it doesn't necessarily mean that you will, at 100% likelihood, get the infection. It all depends on the nature of the exposure, how susceptible you are to picking it up.
Dr. Moore understands the anxiety a lot of people are feeling with a global pandemic in our recent memory.
It's low risk for Ontarians, but we're prepared, we're monitoring this.
And unlike COVID-19, we're not dealing with a mystery virus, but one that's been well studied for 3 decades. There's expertise to draw on from nations used to dealing with hantavirus.
We know that it has very limited spread between humans. Argentina has shared with us their protocols, their policies, their recommendations.
Ontario's also taking Argentina's advice on how to care for the people in isolation if they do get sick, limiting their contacts inside the healthcare system to make sure infection doesn't spread. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Historic items from Fort La Cloche are on display at the Massey Area Museum. CTV's Madison Merrier is giving us a first-hand look tonight and joins us with more.
Items that date back over 2,000 years are sharing more information on Anishinaabeg history with the Reconnecting Awakening Heirlooms of History exhibit.
We wanted people to recognize that families were raised there and that there was life stories playing out there for thousands of years, that when they look at these artifacts, that don't look at it and just see an arrowhead, look at it and imagining somebody chipping away and making it, the story behind that.
An exhibit was not the original intention. It started out as an Indigenous training program on history, but quickly grew into something bigger.
The exciting part is that these items that were kept in boxes for so long, they're given like a new life.
The First Nations are like shaping the way that archaeology is being done in their communities, right? And a first step to doing that is to provide a place where people can learn about ancestral belongings.
Recollet says the exhibition had a lot of community involvement, with many people taking their own artistic inspiration.
This exhibit includes both the ancestral belongings, but it also includes artwork from Anishinaabe artists that is inspired by La Cloche. And so I hope that people who come to visit look at the artwork as well. It's a way to do what the exhibit is called reconnecting.
It's really cool because seeing the new works alongside these old belongings, these ancestral belongings, it really kind of reaffirms that we're still here and that this knowledge isn't lost. We're still learning it. We're relearning it, and it's still alive.
Toulouse says the collection shares so much information on Northern history, and they encourage all to learn more while it's on display this summer. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Massey.
North Bay dog owners will have new places for their dogs to run, play, and socialize. The city is launching a pilot project designating 4 outdoor rinks as off-leash dog areas. The initiative stems from community feedback asking for more accessible off-leash spaces in different areas of the city. The trial locations include Sage Park, Kinnett Playground, Green Hill Park, and Police Playground. These are in addition to planned enhancements this spring at the Brewman Community Dog Park. There's more ahead tonight on CTV News. For now, let's go to a live shot of the Sudbury Water Tower tonight. This shot courtesy of the Sudbury Wolves organization, which owns the tower. To recognize Mental Health Week, it's going to be lit green until Sunday. It's being done in cooperation with the Canadian Mental Health Association to raise awareness and to reduce stigma. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario. In Sault Ste. Marie, some of the city's most decorated athletes were honored today at the curling rink that started their Olympic careers. Brad Jacobs, along with longtime teammates Ryan and EJ Harnden, unveiled Team Jacobs Way. The name represents both the 2026 and 2014 gold medal winning curling teams, skipped by Jacobs. The three Saultites were joined by 2014 coach Tom Coulterman with a crowd of fans at the Sault Curlers Association for the occasion, a location that will now have a new address thanks to the success of its brightest stars.
It's called Team Jacobs Way, but my favorite part of that sign is team. Team for me represents family. It represents, which in turn represents community. And really what this facility here is for us, the curling club, is somewhere where we grew up as kids.
We've been coming here since we were about 4 or 5 years old, running around here. You know, our dad would bring us out here in practice. We have hockey helmets on. So it's been a very special and meaningful building to us.
It shows the support that this city has and this community has for athletes, for entertainers, for anyone that, you know, is passionate about their craft, or just like Sault Ste. Marie as a whole, and the pride that we have for our community and living here and residing here. So that's extremely special.
One of the three, EJ, has already retired, and though the others still compete, they say this street sign will serve as a reminder each time they visit of their highest achievement on the pebbled ice. The Sudbury Cubs had a busy night tonight as they marked their first win in round-robin action at the Centennial Cup. Sioux native Lincoln Moore with 2 goals to help lead the Cubs to a 4-1 victory over the Truro Bearcats. Their record is now 1-1. Sudbury's next game is Monday afternoon at noon against the Flin Flon Bombers. Go Cubs go. Bring home that cup. Le Salon du Livre is kicking off Stories of Our Roots this weekend in Sudbury. Place des Arts will host the 13th annual event, which started today. The weekend will feature nearly 40 authors and artists from across Canada. The celebration of Francophone literature will include book launches, a spotlight on self-published authors, panel discussions, and live performances.
You know, we're in a minority situation, a linguistic minority situation in Sudbury. We're far from Quebec, so it is important to reunite authors and the public at least once a year, so that the public can discover the new titles that are out on the market in Canada.
Festival and day passes are available through Le Salon du Livre website. Finally for us tonight, a new production in Sudbury has the volume turned all the way up. Last night, the Sudbury Performance Group kicked off its run of School of Rock, a high-energy adaptation of the hit movie that puts local talent front and center. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
The volume is loud, the lights are bright, and the energy is undeniably rock and roll. The Sudbury Performance Group is calling its production of School of Rock a monster of a show.
It's absolutely incredible just how much local talent that we have. Some of these young performers started off during our summer camps that we do for the past number of years. And some of that was their very first time ever trying any type of performing arts. And then all of a sudden now they're on stage.
There will be 32 cast members ranging from ages 9 to early 50s. And for the first time in Sudbury Performance Group history, the show features 2 live bands on stage, performing anthems like Stick It to the Man and You're in the Band. The production follows the story of Dewey Finn, a failed rock star who poses as a substitute teacher to transform a class of prep school students into a rock band.
Who doesn't want to embody that manic energy that Jack Black has? You know, he made it, you know, really well known with that movie, and of course with his other projects and stuff, but like it's really just fun to, you know, get that out on stage.
People tell me I'm very similar to her. She's very like perfectionist, and once she's in the band, she is the band manager, and she really plays to that by like bossing everyone around and making sure everything's in order.
He starts off as a percussionist in the music room, but then Dewey, or Ned Schneebly, gets him to play drums, and he's instantly better. I feel like this is a great show to show off how I've really developed as an actor and a drummer.
From the classroom to the concert hall, Manisto says this ensemble proves that rock and roll is a language that everyone can speak. The production runs through May 23rd here at Thornloe University. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
That takes us to the end of our newscast this Friday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Have a wonderful weekend. If you live in a state of emergency area, make sure to look out for those neighbors. We'll see you Monday. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. I love you, Mom. Thanks for watching. Good night.